We begin with a tragedy that has shocked two nations and left a proud naval tradition in mourning. A Mexican Navy ship, armed Cuauhtémoc, was never meant to pass beneath the iconic Brooklyn Bridge. But on Saturday night, due to what appears to be a critical navigational or mechanical failure, the 300-foot sailing vessel struck the underside of the bridge, its towering masts colliding with the steel structure, resulting in a devastating accident. Two young naval cadets lost their lives. 22 others were injured. And as the once proud training ship now sits docked at Manhattan's Pier 36, U.S. and Mexican officials are scrambling to answer the most urgent question: how did this happen? On Sunday, as emergency responders and maritime officials surveyed the damage, the wrecked masts of the Cuauhtémoc were a grim reminder of a mission gone terribly wrong. The ship, known internationally as the Knight of the Seas, had departed Pier 17 in Lower Manhattan. It was bound for the open Atlantic, scheduled to refuel at the Brooklyn waterfront before continuing on to Iceland. But shortly after 8:20 p.m., the ship veered off course. Within minutes, it was headed directly under the Brooklyn Bridge, an area it was never cleared to pass through. The bridge, with a vertical clearance of approximately 135 feet, stood no chance against the vessel's three masts, each towering over 160 feet. At 8:24 p.m., the collision occurred. The Mexican Navy has since confirmed the identities of the two cadets who perished in the accident. 20-year-old America Yamaleth Sanchez Hernandez from the coastal state of Veracruz, and 23-year-old Adel Jair Maldonado Marcos from San Mateo del Mar, Oaxaca. Governor Rocio Nale of Veracruz expressed her condolences in a heartfelt social media post, saying, "Veracruz is with you." Meanwhile, Adal's hometown community in Oaxaca gathered in grief, remembering a young man who had long dreamed of following in his father's footsteps to become a sailor. America, her mother said, had just 1 year left before graduating from the heroic Naval Academy. She was described as a brilliant student, a dedicated daughter, and a young woman whose spirit was, quote, strong, determined, and full of promise. On Sunday morning, the atmosphere at Pier 36 was one of grief and confusion. Injured sailors, some bandaged, some still in uniform, were seen reboarding the ship. Supplies were loaded onto the vessel, and behind police barricades a crowd gathered. Many were Mexican immigrants living in the U.S., drawn by the ship's symbolic presence and now united in shared sorrow. One of them was Roque Anaya, who had traveled with his family from Rhode Island just a day before the tragedy. He had toured the ship with his children, taken photos with the crew, and marveled at the vessel he remembered learning about as a boy in Hidalgo, Mexico. "It's a little heartbreaking," his daughter Jessica said as she held back tears. That heartbreak turned into quiet mourning by evening. A small vigil formed near the pier. Bouquets were placed on the pavement. Votive candles were lit. A rosary and a small image of the Virgin Mary were hung gently on the fence. Maria Metia, who helped organize the vigil, summed up the sentiment of many. "We were full of pride, full of love. We couldn't believe it had turned into a tragedy." The investigation is now underway. The U.S. National Transportation Safety Board, alongside Mexican authorities, is reviewing every detail. One point of contention is the role of a tugboat seen in videos of the incident. While maritime towing company McAllister Towing confirmed that one of its vessels assisted the Cuauhtémoc during departure, Senator Chuck Schumer offered a conflicting account. Speaking at a press conference Sunday, Schumer said, "The tugboat seen in videos was not assisting the ship before the accident. It arrived afterward." Normally, a sailing vessel like this would be guided by a tug before leaving port. Mechanical failure is one of these suspected causes. Reports suggest that the Cuauhtémoc may have lost propulsion, causing it to drift with the current toward the bridge. Mr. Schumer also questioned whether staffing cuts to the U.S. Coast Guard during the previous administration may have impacted oversight and communication during the ship's departure. "We need to understand whether these cuts contributed to a breakdown in maritime coordination," he said. As the investigation unfolds, the fate of the ship remains uncertain. A Navy official, speaking anonymously, stated that a full technical inspection will determine whether the Cuauhtémoc can continue its mission, or if its journey ends in New York. The Cuauhtémoc departed from Acapulco on April 6th. Its mission was both ceremonial and educational, designed to promote peace, foster international relations, and provide rigorous training for cadets. Over the course of 254 days, it was set to visit ports in Jamaica, Iceland, Scotland, Spain, and Barbados, before finally docking in London. This is a vessel of historical and cultural importance. Built in Spain in 1981 and acquired by Mexico the following year, it has served as a floating academy for naval cadets for over 4 decades. Just last year, it won the prestigious Boston Teapot Trophy, an international award recognizing outstanding performance among training ships. Now its masts lie broken, its mission suspended, and its crew grieving. On Sunday afternoon, over 100 crew members disembarked from the ship. Carrying rucksacks and luggage, they were escorted by police to buses headed for JFK Airport. Many of them had boarded the Cuauhtémoc filled with dreams, never imagining they would leave under such sorrowful circumstances. In the final moments before her death, America Sanchez had sent photos to her family from Central Park. Her uncle, Rodolfo Hernandez, said through tears, "She was so happy. She was going to Iceland, and then we broke down. We couldn't bear the news." Her friend, Nacintea, posted a heartfelt tribute online. "My precious girl, we longed for it to be a lie. It hurts to know you're gone, but you left doing what you loved most. We are proud that you got to see New York, that you reached your dream." As of tonight, the Cuauhtémoc remains docked in New York. The investigation is ongoing. And across both sides of the border, families, friends, and fellow sailors are left searching for answers, while holding on tightly to memories of 2 lives full of promise taken too soon. This is not just a maritime accident, it is a moment of national grief, and we will continue to follow this story as it unfolds.